Hi, guys. Oh my goodness, let's see. I'm Angela. This is Clark Fine Art. In today's stream, if you saw that thumbnail, we are doing this Santa. You can't see because you're looking at me. Let me show you. There we go. We're doing this Santa, and he was inspired by Starving Artist Collective, which I haven't seen pop in the chat yet, but I definitely hope that she does. So let me just check in with the chat real quick because I see that it's doing. There she is. There's Starving Artist Collective. DF Digger, hello. How are you? Excuse me. DF Digger is a local right here where I'm from, and does some treasure hunting in our area. Has some pretty neat stuff. If you guys haven't seen, or if you're interested in seeing, he does some metal detecting of some of the local rivers and the general area up here in Maine where I am from, and he has some pretty neat things out there. Check out his channel. So hi, DF Digger, how are you? Hi, Tara Giblin. Whoa. Let's jump in. Hi, Gypsy Heart Crafts. Just a quick little announcement there. You will see Gypsy Heart has a wrench now next to her name. Thank you so much for volunteering to help me. I know Joseph is not going to be available later this month, and so I appreciate that you said you would help. All right, let me just double checking. No video yet, still fish tank. I'm hoping that that's changed. Yeah, a button wasn't working for me. Yep, I saw it. Okay, Starving Artist Collective says, hi to everybody. How cool, a Southern Hemisphere hot weather Santa. Never seen that on YouTube before. Even from Aussie artists, really? Well, that's fantastic. Well, this was completely inspired by you. You made comment in chat that, you guys in Australia, Christmas is all, beach and warm weather. And I thought, why not? Let's put Santa in the warm weather. Audio is live, video is live. Great. You are very welcome. Okay. I'm going to just dive right in and get started because there's a lot to do. This is the only stream that I am trying to dedicate to this. So we will see if I can move this without knocking my palette camera over. It's a little too far away from me. Okay. Yeah. 1 second, guys. Sorry. I thought I had this close enough so I could get to all my palette and not bump everything. Because, we're at the easel today, not the desk. And then, like, moments before the stream, of course, my mouse was like, hey, you forgot to charge me, so I'm not going to work. Excuse me. So we are, we're working around that too. All right. Today's supplies. These are things, if you recall, I got in my November. I got to remember, you guys are up here now, not down over the other side. These are supplies I got in my November 2021 Pelletful Pack box, and I wanted to try this canvas, which is an Art Alternatives canvas. This is the 8x10. Just move that out of the way. Just drop it on the floor. So this canvas, and I've already put my line work on there. You guys aren't really seeing. Yeah, okay, I guess you can. When I leave it on the easel, it looks like you can see it just fine. So this isn't. I've already put my line work on there. But this canvas by Art Alternatives, the stretcher bars, I was surprised how wide. Like, these are really wide. For such a little canvas, I mean, usually they're about, I don't know, half that size. And so, we're going to give it a try. Also, I want to note, if anybody's doing this and you're transferring, I tried to catch that comment over. This is available. You can get the line art for free over on my Patreon. And I tried to note, like, don't put in your horizon line yet, because I'm going to move it. Instead of it being way up here, I didn't like that. My initial sketch, my little thumbnail sketch that I did, actually had my horizon line down here more. And I think I like that better. So that's where I'm going to put it today. I am also using the Amsterdam paints that I got in that Palettefull Pack box. And you saw the video. If not, I'll try to throw a link to it up here after the stream is done for others to be able to check out. But I think it is linked in the description below. So in this video, the video with my mountains, I did them with the palette knife in my true best Bob Ross fashion. I used these Amsterdam paints and I loved them. And I thought I really want to see how they perform, like how I would normally paint at the easel with some brushes. So we're doing that today. So over here on the palette, I have those paints sitting there. Excuse me. If you're going to be painting along, all you really need is a basic set of colors. You can do everything with just your primaries, black and white. We absolutely, in fact, I don't know if I will use this green, especially things that are nature, grass, trees, leaves, like all like the green things that are green in nature. That's more a better way to say it. I really like to mix those greens. And sometimes when I'm working with just basic colors, I will mix those greens just with black and yellow. It gives you a really, and then adjust my value from there. I feel that sometimes that just gives you a really great natural. I like the green. I like that green in nature. Words are hard today. In addition, I am going to be testing out my new Simply Simmons brushes. I had mentioned that I got these. The link to these, all these supplies are linked in the description below. So I'm going to be checking these out. I want to see, how do they work? How do I like them? I know Lisa uses over at Lockery Fine Art. I know she uses some Simply. I should have taken these off beforehand, but I didn't, because, you know, what fun would that be during a live stream to have everything prepared? So yes, I've seen Lisa uses Simply Simmons. Wow, they really stuck those on there. All right, again, just tossing it. We'll clean the floor up after. And she seems to like them a lot. So I decided I'm going to give them a try. And I doubt I'm going to use every single one of these, but you know, you never know. You never know. Anyhow, so I'm just going to set those down there. I know that I will be using, this is a number 16 Bright. I'll be using that one. And then I have, which I'm sure, the number 4. Oh, they put sticky stuff all over these. The number 4 Round. I'm going to use that. And you don't have to have these brushes. Grab whatever, you know, this is my take on your brushes. If there is a brush that you like and that you can achieve the results from what I'm showing you, then that's the brush you should be using. That's it. That's simple. So then we have 2 more Brights, a number 4 and a number 8. I don't know how much I'll be using these. Maybe I could use it on the, maybe the number 8 on the palm tree. I don't know. We'll see. But we do need to dive right in. I'm going to just stick those right there on my easel for now. So I'm going to lay out some of these colors, double check. Let's see. Gypsy Heart says, oh my gosh. You Bob Ross the heck out of those mountains. I sure did try. I had so much fun doing them. Oh man, I had a lot of fun doing those mountains. Okay. Gypsy Heart says, I personally like the Simply Simmons for some things. They have a good snap with acrylics, and I love them for blending my colored pencils with OMS. Excellent. Of course, not my big ones, since if I was doing colored pencil work, I would probably be sitting at my desk, in which case I will, like, you know, poke myself in the eye if I'm using one of these long-handled brushes. But I also did get, if I can do this without banging my camera, I also did get this small set, the short-handled set. So yeah, I'm gonna be giving those a try, probably for either some watercolor work. Excuse me, I did not want to do that in your ear. But possibly for some watercolor work, or maybe I will give that a shot, Ashley and Gypsy Heart, and try them. Oh, you're going to... Okay, like, all of a sudden my wrist was lighting up. My watch lit up Mickey Mouse. And I use so much of this white. I thought you guys were, like, seeing Mickey Mouse come on there. He shows up in a lot of my videos. But the Amsterdam, the white, I used a lot of that in that video. So hopefully I have more than what I will need to get through this one. So I'm definitely going to put out some white. I will certainly be putting out a little yellow. If you notice on here, back here behind the palm tree, I gave the suggestion that maybe Rudolph is hanging out with Santa back there and he's just chilling behind the tree. We know we are definitely going to be using some red because Santa's going to have some red shorts and a red hat. So throw that out there. And of course, I got some blue. We're doing a sky. We're doing the ocean. Get a little extra blue. Just for reference, this one is, and I don't have my glasses anywhere near me today. This is, looks like ultramarine. Then we have some pyrrole red, primary yellow, of course, titanium white. And I will note that when I used the titanium white before, and if any of you have used Amsterdam paint, drop a comment, let me know. Joseph asked, are you using the new studio lights yet? I am not. Not yet. I was going to try to use them today and bounce them off on the easel and see if we got better. I mean, is everything showing up well on your end for not using them? I'm just really trying. I've got everything else in the studio is dark and I have just the lights that are above my head on, and I'm hoping that that's enough. And it's very overcast here today because it has been snowing here. So I don't know. Hopefully nothing's looking too washed out. I forgot to grab my grayscale, of course, and set it here and check it. So my fingers are crossed. You guys let me know. Hopefully it's good. But I'm going to note that the Amsterdam paint, that titanium white is, you know, of course, on the tube, they mark them. Hi, Jamie, Eddie. Thanks for joining us. So they marked them, and it's like, you know, they filled in, as I can't show you there. They fill in the whole square there, which says this is an opaque paint. It's pretty transparent. As far as titanium white goes, it's not very opaque. Joseph said, ooh, snow, yay. Glad there wasn't any here. I hung the Christmas lights today. I am so far behind. I got the Christmas tree yesterday when I had to venture to the big city, and it ate up my whole day. Excuse me. So I'm just haven't used these brushes yet. I'm just, wow, shaking. I'm going to have to be cautious of that. Shaking my cart. If you guys are seeing my palette jump around, I apologize. And I see the light shining down. You see that ring? The light that I have on my palette, it has a ring light on it, and I can shut that off, but see, then it's like, I don't know how that looks on the palette if I don't have it lit. Once I start mixing colors, that's going to go away, because you know I make a big old mess of my palette. So I'm not sure if anybody is following along with this one today, but if you do, as always, I would love to see your work. Post it on social media. Tag me. Okay, Gypsy Heart said, I see the paint moving, but the palette shaking isn't too noticeable. It was just because I was like really scrubbing out those to get the sizing out, because, you know, the brushes are brand new. So I wanted to make sure I rinsed it, got all the sizing out of them. Now, I have my artwork here. So when I did this, again, this started as just a little tiny thumbnail sketch. And I took that, of course, made it bigger, redrew them, and then transferred them to the canvas. Now I used grab it here. I will reuse my transfer paper all the time. It's only the paint tubes. That's Tara. It's only the paint tubes having a little hula dance. Yeah. I will try to be conscious of that. Oh, yeah, lucky for you, Joseph. He says the firehouse across the street from my house sells trees. It's a 40-foot walk. Well, our fire station here in town is just not far from me at all. They don't sell the trees there. But I'm in Maine. Christmas tree farms are everywhere. We are the pine tree state. We can go, in fact, 5 minutes up the street. We have a Christmas tree farm there. And although I picked up an artificial tree this year, which I just think is like blasphemy when you live in Maine. Like, we live in Maine. We have real trees. Anyways, it's okay. It's okay. And, and then I get the whole like save the trees. It's fine. Whichever you choose to do is fine. If and when we do cut down our own Christmas tree, which we have for the past decade, I have not had an artificial tree in over a decade. We always take the live trees when we're done and we put them outside, and Lou will drive them down into the snow because usually by then there's plenty of snow on the ground, and he'll drive the tree down into the snow, and then all the birds can have like extra shelter through winter. And then when I'm taking care of Tuca's cage, he makes more of a mess and he never eats all of his seed. So I'll take all that extra and I'll throw it at that tree. So it gives them a place where they can eat and, seek shelter. So anyhow, that's my story. But I came home with an artificial tree yesterday, and then Lou said, oh, we're going to cut down a tree on Saturday. I'm like, I just bought a tree. He goes, I know, but we're going to get another tree because he's going to buy me my small tree. Usually I would get a big tree and a small tree for back in my bonus room where we always sit and watch TV because, then I put the tree in the other room and then I don't see it all the time. Anyhow, we're still going to get a small real tree. So I won't miss out on that experience. And just finished checking the chat real quick. Oh my gosh. I'm still very slowly working on the hats. That's awesome. That is awesome, Gypsy Heart. I might have to, yeah, you should. Absolutely. Like, adjust our autumn hats for magical men and women and create them as Christmas ones. I'd love to see it. I don't know. What does Joseph say? He already had a jingle bell on his, so absolutely. That'd be excellent. Do it. I want to see it. So back to here. When I first transferred this white canvas, and I used this, I will repeat this. I mean, I don't know if you can see, there's so many, not so well, but there are so many lines on this transfer paper. So I did it with my dark first. And then once I paint it, if I can stop making crinkly noises. Once I get my background in, if I need to add any of this back, then I will probably come in with either a white, and again, I reuse this too. This has got lines from so many different, I'm kind of peeking at my other monitor way over there, guys, so sorry, I'm not looking away from you. Well, I'm looking away from you, but I'm not trying to be rude. So anyhow, I'll use the white. So I have white and I have the regular dark. And then of course my line art, which I will keep right here. And I actually drew a line because this was bigger than my canvas. So I knew once I got this on, if I couldn't see where I originally had him lined up, I kind of marked my lines so I could just set it there and go. Of course, I have tape on standby on the easel. Let's get to it. The only color I don't have in this set is brown, so that's going to be fun. We're going to be mixing some up. Should be interesting. Because, you know, for our beach sand. And I'm only using primaries. So for starters, I'm going to mark where I'm going to want my horizon. And mix up. All of a sudden my nose wants to itch. I'm going to mix up some blue that I'm going to want to put in my sky. Because, you know, you go to the beach. Oh, it's got to be a nice sunny day. Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be a nice sunny day. I think sometimes it can be fun to, hopefully I'm not shaking. I'm trying to like put one finger on here to keep it stable. So I think the way my cart is, we all know how old my house is and how wonky the floor in my studio is. So, and this light is a really cool blue light. So I don't know if that is, I don't want that much dark. I just want to desaturate this just slightly. It's looking a little purple to me right now, but I know that this light is a very cool blue. So not necessarily daylight. We'll see what happens when we get on the canvas. All right, I told you guys, I make a big old mess. So I'm going to come in and start and just making sure that you guys are seeing this well. Please yell at me if you need me to adjust something. Well, don't yell at me. That would be rude. Let me know. All right. We ready? We are ready. Joseph said, I have same problem. Oops. Same problem. My house was built in 1933. 1900 right here. Wonky floors and one corner is not 90 degrees. Not one. No. Not one thing in this house is 90 degrees. No, it doesn't happen. Excuse me. Okay. So just remember, if you want me to see something, because as I'm going, if you want me to see your comment, just do the @ClarkFineArt. So it'll be orange on my screen. And that will draw my attention to it because I have it really close. So my peripheral vision is seeing when those comments come in today. So yeah, yelling is bad. We don't need to yell at each other. I agree. Don't yell at me. All right. I'm kind of a little, let me see if I can manipulate myself without beating up the camera over here to my left. Okay. So in my original thumbnail sketch, I didn't want to like just cut Santa's head off, and that would have been about central in the painting. And then I didn't want it to get too close to the edge of where I put the ocean here. So I was like, well, but I think we're going to go right in about here. And so again, I'm still almost half. It's like just below half. But I think that because Santa's our focus and he's down here and in that left third, I don't think that this is going to be too much with the, you know, where our ocean sits in the background. So that's going to be where I'm going to put that guy in. And it is, I didn't want to turn my heater on in here today because it's freezing. But because that would dry my paints out so quickly. And I almost started going down to the ocean. This is not down in, I did on this little spot, but this is our, I'm just painting the sides. You can see that. I'm just going to pull that right up so that my sides are painted. I actually have somebody in mind that I think I would like to send this one to. Excuse me. So I'm going to be conscious of that, and you're going to see me actually paint right around the edges because I want to carry this one over. So I'm just going to bring this across. Guys, hopefully I will have this project done for you in this one sitting. Because again, I've only got this one planned for it. And so speaking of planning, let's talk about what's coming. I'm just mixing up more. Of course, I don't have enough paint mix. I either mixed not even close to enough, or I mix way, way too much. All right, again, I'm just going to take a little bit of, just a tiniest bit of black. I just want to desaturate it just a little bit. It's not quite as light as the blue I had before. And I don't care if these are all blended perfectly, as long as I'm not streaking black on my sky. I want that to be mixed in there. But I don't know if that's showing up so well. But in here, I mean, I have streaks of the blue or some that are, you know, light, much lighter. I don't care. It's all good. So I'm just going to put this on and I'm going to try to avoid Santa as I get in here, just because if I can save work, it's going to help me get this done. But I don't want him to look painted around, so I may tuck it in just a little bit. So, and this is kind of dark. This is kind of a dark blue. I'm just going to go with it for now. Just rolling with it. Oh, I have to tell you. Wow. So you guys know, or I've mentioned that I love my golden and my Liquitex heavy body paints. I use those all the time. I'm going to kind of bring this up to Santa, but I'm going to grab my smaller brush and just kind of go around him. I just want to, maybe I do it with this guy. I just want to save a little bit of time by not having to completely transfer him back on here. The palm tree, that I'm not too worried about, right? We'll get that. Normally, I would never do my background this way. I always paint straight through. I would definitely want to make sure that my subject looks like it is in front of my background. But what I started to say was normally I'd use my Liquitex or my golden heavy body paints. And I love those paints because, you know, I feel like they're the best of both worlds. I can have them very thick, or if I should choose to, I can thin them down with some water, and, you know, then they're more like a soft body paint. But neither my Liquitex heavy body or my golden heavy body move and spread like that. Yeah, exactly. There we go. See that? Whoops, sorry. Starving Artist Collector said, these acrylics seem to have a lovely flow from the brush. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I'm saying, what is it? Is it the brush? It's the first time I've used this brush, which I love. Is it the paint? Is it a combination of both? I don't know. But I like it. As soon as I get this on here, I am going to grab another brush. And, you know, I think we need some clouds. So I'm going to scrub in some clouds, and you'll get to see how I do those. See how, like, pulling that, like I'm pulling the paint, and this is why I don't like to paint up to my subject. I like to paint through and put my subject on top after the fact, because I don't like leaving those marks. And of course, all my palm fronds have kind of disappeared, and that's okay, because those, I can just look at my line art for that and pop those back on there. I just wanted everything else to kind of be pretty much where it's going to be. Now I'm going to grab a smaller brush. I'm going to redefine exactly where that horizon is. And also come back with that brush. And I'm sorry guys. This is the first time I've set my camera this way over my palette, and I did want you to see my palette today because I am only using some basic primary colors to do this whole painting. I figured I wanted these projects to be something that could be adaptable for anybody to have the supplies on hand to do. Because I want everybody to be able to enjoy these projects. And I did start to tell you like what I'm going to be, what's coming and what I'm doing. And I will get back to that in just a moment. But I want to make sure I'm just going to hold him and just redefine or neatening up my horizon line where my sky is going to meet my ocean. Yeah, it's the whole concentration factor, guys. The talking stops. And I really, really want to be able to get this one done today. It is my goal to not only finish, but to finish on time. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Now we want some clouds. So I'm just going to grab some white. And with the blue that I was just using in my background, I didn't rinse it. I didn't add any water. I'm just grabbing a little bit of white, creating a new spot on my palette, mixing that together. And this is going to be some of the darker spots of some of my clouds. And so just, pick a spot. Pick a spot and let's start scrubbing in some clouds. Clouds are very organic shapes. I don't think any two clouds are the same. You'll see me kind of like tap and move. And actually, I don't have a filbert. Well, there is a filbert, but there's a filbert in my other set. However, I really don't want to get that. That's my preferred brush to do clouds with. I don't want to get that one full of acrylic paint because I do want to try that in watercolor and see how I like these for watercolors. So right now, this round with its point, not exactly what I would choose. I have a filbert here, and you know what? I'm going to switch up just for a moment, only because I know I don't want to damage the point on this brush, on this round. I want to keep that nice. So this one is my Power Stroke, my Power Krill. And this is by Creative Mark. And I'm going to say that this guy, can you guys see that? Like the ferrule has gotten a little loose where it meets the wood, like where the crimp is. But so far, no other issues. I've had mixed feelings about these brushes. Now, we're going to see. We're going to see what this will do. So grabbing some of that color. And I will check the chat in just a moment. So if you do have questions or comments, throw them in there. And I will get to, see, this is so much easier. And it's a stiffer brush. But I will get to those soon. And I'm just going to kind of bring you a little closer. Just because sometimes as I put my hand, look. These are the things that I do. It's all good. It's awkward because normally I would need this like over here and then you guys can't see it way over there. So for clouds, I just grab that color and scrub some shapes in. And clouds used to be my nemesis. Like, oh, if I had to do clouds, I hated clouds. I could never get them to look like clouds. And for those of you who saw my commission that is just delivered, oh my gosh, guys, they got their painting. They sent me a video of them opening it. They loved it. But if you saw that one and those clouds, I'm not so afraid of clouds anymore. Like they don't intimidate me. They used to intimidate the heck out of me. And not so much anymore. So just grabbing a little more white, tap of that blue. I'm just going to make a lighter value now. but not white, just a little bit lighter value. Come back in, I'm gonna scrub some more. So if I just tap areas and it doesn't exactly look right, what I have found is then when I come back, right? So here's I've got the paint there, but now when I come back, I'm just focusing on scrubbing that paint around, softening up the shape, scrubbing it around. And that's how I end up getting a variety of values throughout my clouds. And then these natural formations just, you know, start to happen. And of course, at the top of our sky, clouds closest to us, they're going to be larger. And as we move further and get closer to this horizon line, your clouds need to get very thinned out and they got to get very flat, very thin. So I'm just going to add in a little bit more. Now we're going to throw some of this white in. And again, this for titanium white, this Amsterdam paint is very, it's not very opaque. It's not very opaque. It's got some transparent qualities, which, like I said, when I covered these, when I covered that palette fill pack box, as long as I know that that's a quality the paint has, that doesn't bother me. Like, I'm not upset that this titanium white is not so opaque that I can cover, you know, every little bit and nothing will show through. Like, I'm not worried about that, because I know that's not this paint's job, right? I can grab my golden heavy body titanium white. That's going to cover it. Not seeing through it. That's its job. So they each have their own job, and understanding what you can do with each one can be very helpful. So again, more white because I'm just building up. And I'm not going to fiddle with these much longer because, again, we really want to try to get, not only get the painting done today, but, you know, recall, I have palm trees going in here, and you're not really going to see, you're not going to be paying attention to the sky. But the clouds on that commission, I just had a blast with that. And so now let me show you how I go from here and I work my way towards my horizon line. So if I have my clouds in, and then my clouds, I'm going to start thinking about them, and I'm going to start thinking about them they're going to get like thinner. So here they can still have a little bit of fluff to them. And you see, I am not being neat, right? Like, just, they can come through, they can have a little fluff to them. As they get closer to the horizon, I'm going to get thinner, more spaced out clouds. They're going to get flatter, so very skinny. And by the time I reach any clouds that are at my horizon, I'm grabbing my number 4 round. Any clouds that are down there are going to be nothing more than some faint little lines. I had to touch this up because that's where I set my hand when it was still wet. The textures, let's talk about the texture of this canvas, because I've never used this canvas before. So the texture on this one, it's not your smoothest canvas, I'll tell you that. I can't say that, again, I wouldn't say that that means I don't like it. It's just not the smoothest canvas that I have ever used. If you're painting along with this, you know, you just put as many or as few clouds as you want in your sky. It's your sky. Is it cloudy where you are? Or maybe the sun is just blazing and there's no clouds in the sky. No, paint your sky a nice blue and don't worry about clouds at all. As soon as I finish with these clouds, I'm going to come back and double check chat I just want to show you guys how I've definitely gone from so fussy. And again, in the commission, I was a lot more fussy because those clouds, I was painting that exact picture. Those clouds needed to look like, or at least very similar to the clouds that were in the picture. I've just grabbed a little bit more blue. I'm actually liking the way that the effects I'm getting with this number 4 round on it laid on its side. So I'm just gonna throw some more of this in here. I'm just softening some edges where I left like harsh lines, just coming back and scrubbing over some of those and softening some of that up. Because clouds they're soft and fluffy. They don't really have hard edges. So anywhere that I've made that happen, I'm gonna just soften. Can you guys see that okay? I'm bringing it a little closer to the camera. I'm hoping it's helping you see exactly what I'm doing better. I'm just gonna bring that cloud around the edge a little. There we go. Now just gonna let that kind of soften up, dissipate. Carry that right through behind the surfboard. I didn't have a cloud over here. I know I'm gonna have the, palm leaves over here, but even still, you might see a little bit come through. Okay. Any other areas that I need to soften, I'm just gonna all right. Yeah, when I was thinking of doing the paintings for, holidays, and we were talking in one of the live streams, and Starving Artist Collective was talking about how, there in Australia, it's always Santa in shorts and stuff. And I thought, oh, we have got to do that and create a painting that has Santa all decked out in his shorts and having a grand old time. Maybe the other reindeer are overthrowing some shrimp on the Barbie, huh? Again, I do it all the time. I'll put my hand right in that wet paint. And it's because I don't have it on my easel and I'm holding it and then I'm just trying to stabilize my hands and everything. And there was nothing in this corner and I felt that it was just missing a little. All right. Set that down. Darken some areas up. And this is something that you could fiddle with, and this could easily eat hours into your time. I'm just adding a little bit of darker values here and there just to give my clouds a little more dimension. And again, you could spend hours upon hours working just your clouds. It's going to be in the background. We're not going to see them. So we are going to stop right there. We've already spent too much time. All right, catching up on the chat real quick. And then I'm going to transition to the water while we're working in these blues. And then I will do the beach sand. And we'll make sure everything's dry. And then we're going to come back on top with the rest of our paintings. Let me just check in with chat. Okay. Tara said, it's fine. I don't see any shaking at all. Don't even worry about it. Okay, good. I hope not. I'm hoping that because that camera is actually on the palette, which I'm like, if I bump that, it's falling face first right into the paint. So that could be a fun thing to watch. Let's hope it doesn't happen. Clouds can be the same. I've seen hundreds that look like a duck. Okay, Joseph, you win. Oh, hi, cautioners that played. Thanks for joining. Glad that you could be here. Joseph said, I hate loose ferrules. Yeah, me too. It drives me nuts. Oh, are you referring to the paint on the hand and like then... I'm surprised. I make a mess myself. Gypsy Heart said, the clouds on the commission were completely on point and gorgeous. Thank you so much. They were a challenge. They challenged me. They pushed me, and I am happy that I did it. Somebody get Steven a hall pass. We are just glad that you are here, Steven. Gypsy Heart said, seems like you had your aha moment in that piece with the clouds. It definitely, they were... see, Gypsy Heart got him. Tardy slip. Yeah, it challenged me. It really pushed me. And I love projects like that because if we don't push ourselves as artists, how do we ever expand on our abilities? So, loved it. Oh, they were very happy with the commission. No, there will be no repainting. No. No, I'm not repainting it. You hired me to paint a painting for you based on the way that you see me paint or the paintings of mine that you've seen. Therefore, that's what you're going to get. One of my paintings. Yeah. I'm not going to go on a rant there. We want to get this done today. If there was something that was my fault, I would certainly repaint it. But if it was just... Anyways, we won't go there. The clouds you painted in that commission were more realistic than the real thing. They were that amazing. Thank you. Oh, hi, Dylan. Oh, what did I just do? See that? It just jumped on me. Can't watch too long, but wanted to stop by and watch while I can. Well, I'm so glad if you're still here. I thank you for joining us. I'm glad that you're here. Oh, Starving Artist Collective said many Southern Hemisphere artists still paint Northern Winter Christmas because they have U.S. viewers. You know what? I mean, I get it, but you guys, this one's for you guys. And you definitely inspired me to do it. All right, let's see. Oh, thank you. Okay, we had this discussion before. Rana or Raina? Rana or Raina? I was like, what is it? I saw your comment on YouTube earlier when you made a comment on a different video. And I said, oh no, she told me. Because see, I have, across the street, we have a little girl and they call her Raina. And so I see that and I think Raina. But please correct me. I promise I will try to remember. Oh, see, Steven said, I have only tried a couple of acrylic paintings. I had trouble with how quickly they dry. I've lost confidence. See, now that's what I like about it. I like this is already almost dry. I love that because then I can just layer right over and keep right on going. I love how this is coming out so far. Clouds are a blast to paint. Thank you. They are fun to paint. I love it. What is it? Oh, Stevens, what does that mean, tardy slip? In school, if we were late getting to school, when we were kids going to school, if we were late getting there, we would have to go to the office and get a tardy slip and then give that to our teachers, which said, like, let them know why we were late and that the office knew that we were there and we weren't like skipping class. That's what tardy slip was. Okay, Rana, like R-A, Rana. Got it. Okay, thank you. Thank you for clarifying. And I apologize if I ask you again in the future. It does take me a couple times to remember on names, but I will try to do my best. All right, next up, we're going to do the ocean. So for the ocean, and I am going to set, I just want to keep using that power curl, but no, I said I'm trying these brushes, so I'm trying these brushes. And actually, I think I'm just going to go right after the 16 round, and I'm going to do that. So for my ocean, of course, it's going to reflect colors that are in my sky. So I'm thinking that back here by my horizon, I'm going to go very similar. Just got a little bit more blue in there. Excuse me. And I got to mist my palette because my paint is wanting to dry. And so that is something that if your paints are drying too quickly on your palette, just give them a little mist with like a fine mister, or sometimes I'll just dip my paintbrush in my water and then come back on and mix that paint about. I'm going to grab a tiny bit more blue and mix it into this half so that I have a couple values. All right. Right, because I want it to be, the sky almost looks ominous. Like, we're getting ready to have a storm there? Look how dark it is behind Santa. I don't know. Hopefully he'll pop. Could always lighten it if it needed to be, but all right. Let's see how this is. And see, Steven, this is the other thing I like about acrylics. I'm about to put this on here. If I don't like this blue, I'm just going to let it dry, wait a few minutes, and then just come in and completely adjust the color, and life will be great for me. I need to, like, make my chair get lower, but it's probably going to mess up, you know, it'll mess up where you guys are seeing me. I'm just going to move my painting, and you guys forgive me for holding it. Again, if it makes it difficult for you to see, just do say so, and I will adjust. I have a ton of paint on this brush. I should not be coming into my more detailed area first. And again, I'm just painting directly around the side. And it's okay if I paint into where my palm tree will be slightly, because this brush is too loaded with paint. See, I just kind of press, pull, and turn and try to work that paint more towards the point. If you saw that on my palette. Much better. I love the way that these Amsterdam paints are flowing. Like, I can say I could become a fan of these. So this is my ocean. I'm going to keep things going left to right. Right now, I don't mind if this is streaky, so long as those lines stay going, you know, horizontally. And it's on my monitor. It's hard to see because it's so far away from me today because I'm working at the easel. It doesn't quite look like the blue that I am seeing. Of course, I will absolutely post this over on MeWe afterwards so that I can get, you know, I'll try to get a better image for you guys to see. Gypsy Heart asked, see that orange just kind of, it caught the corner of my eye. So How far are you liking the brushes? Good snap and release, in my opinion. So far, I definitely like a brush that has a good snap, especially in watercolor. I love a brush. Gonna catch the side of this one here. Just get that line in. There we go. Especially in watercolor, I like a brush that has a good snap. I have yet to find my absolute favorite brush for acrylic, which is why I had ordered some of the Power Krills. See, here's where I don't like painting around my subject. I really don't. So I think it would have been faster if I had just gone right over it, dried it, and then come back and retransferred him on there, but I don't know. So I'm just doing like a fine outline around him, and then I'll make sure that all my brush strokes are going the correct way. How many of you liked his little hand gesture? Just so made me think of Hawaii. And then of course I did the flowers, the hibiscus on his shorts. Even as I come around the side, if you can see there, I'm still going from left to right, because as it wraps around, I want it to look like, you know, there could be waves. I don't care if some areas are darker than the other. That just is naturally going to lend itself to looking like waves in the ocean. Just getting around his fingers here. I definitely love the point on this. I mean, this is a 16, and you see the detail I am able to do with that. I'm liking this brush so far. And then we're going to see how well it does to fill in a large area pretty quickly. Once I kind of get this guy blocked off here. Just going to catch where the water is going to hit the sand here, so that I can fill this whole area in pretty quickly. Again, as I overlap and you start to get darker lines in some areas, I'm not worried about that. If you see that on there, I'm not worried about it. It's going to look like waves rippling out there. This, you got to figure, if that's the horizon line out there, that's a pretty far distance. We're not going to see in a painting at this scale, we're not going to see a lot of really defined waves. That's not what's going to be happening. And I should have had Starving Artist Collective, who says she goes to the beach. I should have had her send me some beach pictures. That would have been great. I was just like, I had a lot of paint in my brush. I needed to pull it. Because then I could have, you know, looked at the waves there, and I just know that in Hawaii, in wintertime, you go to the North Shore on Oahu. That's where they hold a lot of the surfing competitions. Okay, so right now I'm going to say that this, what it's doing, I'm going to have to just get this on here, stop fussing with it, because I'm just lifting the paint. I need it to dry, come back in with another layer. So if that happens to you, like, see, I just went over that. And if let me get this closer so you can see. When I go over that and it pulls that color, I've got to stop. And I've got to just let it dry and then come back again. I know. I said let it stop. And I keep doing it. I just don't want to leave a weird chunk of paint somewhere. And again, I'm still focusing on going from left to right. I want to make sure. This looks like water. And right now, I think what the problem is I'm used to the way I would mix my heavy body. So most likely, I just have too much water mixed in with that paint at the moment. And that's why it's reacting the way it is. So I just let it dry out. I should be able to come back over, no problem, and fix that. All right. So I am going to let this layer dry. And in true Lisa fashion, we're just going to layer till it looks good. So there's my water. While that's setting, I'm going to check chat again. And then I'm going to start in on the sand. And we will mix up that color. Okay. Yeah. Do you see? Can you see him behind me over here? There's my countdown to Christmas. 23 days. Yeah, it's peeking out back there. This day is just, or day, this year. This day did just go poof by, but this year just so fast. Yes, Dylan. It was a time warp. Starving Artist Collective said his right hand needs a beer. Well, he's, giving you that hang loose. But I agree. He could be like, maybe, well, his other hand's grabbing, his left hand is grabbing, oops, as I shake you guys here, his left hand's grabbing that surfboard. I don't know, maybe there's a back pocket on his shorts and he's got one tucked in there. That would be funny. That would be funny. D-Lynn says strawberry daiquiri. Oops, it jumped. Sorry, guys. And just double checking. I see you guys talking amongst yourself about Christmas stuff, and that's great. The hang loose thing is a Hawaii thing, which I said starving Southern Hemisphere completely inspired this, but then it also reminded me of the years when I lived in Hawaii. And again, Mele Kalikimauka to all of the Hawaiian culture out there watching. This definitely a Hawaiian thing, so that's my little piece that I'm bringing in from my time in Hawaii. So yes, you are correct, Joseph. It definitely is a Hawaiian thing. I don't know. Maybe Starving Artist Collective can chime in. Maybe they do it in Australia too. I don't know. All right. No more messages to me. Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. All right. Beach. We got to mix up some sand. So, to make some sand with my primary colors, let's see how we can make this happen. I'm grabbing some white. Can you still see if this is kind of off? I'm trying to see where you'll be able to see when I mix this. We'll just do it right here. So I'm grabbing some white. I'm going to grab a touch of red, a splash of yellow, and I'm actually going to desaturate it. Not that much black, I'm not. With the tiniest bit of black on my brush, and let's mix this up and see what we get. All right, just mix it up and see what we get. And it's hard, again, this light is that's on shining on that palette right now is a cool blue light, which I don't know why they did that. I think they claim it's daylight, but there's no way. There's no way. Oh, I don't know why I just grabbed even more. And that's probably going to give me some gray sand, which unless we're going to Maui, we don't need a black sand beach. Although, Starving, maybe you could chime in. Do we have black sand beaches where you are? Ours are rude gestures meant and understood in fun. Beer is less risky for your YouTube algorithm. Is that would that be Bex? Is that right? Bex? Or is that just an American understanding that Bex is Australian for beer, right? Is that correct? I don't know. Some rude gestures. That's hilarious. Too much blue in there. There was a lot of blue in that white. All right, that's it. We're gonna see what this looks like. We're just gonna go for it. See what it looks like. I don't know. Could be sand. I think it might need a little more warming up. And I'd rather go little bits at a time, little steps, versus all of a sudden it's completely wrong. All right, going in again. Calling it good enough. I'm gonna call it good enough. Again, catching the side of that canvas. I need to paint the bottom of the canvas as well. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to flip them upside down for a moment because this, yep, dry. And I'm going to cover, and again, I've mixed up way too little amount of paint. Much too little. Hopefully that will be dry real fast, and we'll flip it back over. Oh yeah, we get it all the way up this side. I find that if I don't do the edges first, as I'm going along, I tend to forget the edges. And then I go back and I'm like, oh no, now I have to mix up and match all this paint. That's not fun. All right. Now, I need more white. Must make some more. Joseph says, Beck's beer, German, I think. But Americans think, oh, Foster's, yes. Yes, thank you, Foster's. That's the one. That's the one. Foster's. Yes. Is Aussie beer. I've heard the Aussies think it's swill. That would not surprise me. That would not surprise me. There's, I mean, how many others? It's like supposed to be a beer from, you know, certain area, and then that it's exported, what have you. But then in other areas of the world, you know, they're like, oh, this is great. And where it's actually supposed to be from, they're like, I wouldn't drink that shit. I mean, I wouldn't drink that stuff. Well, you know, we're not made for kids. And then once in a while, it's going to slip out. So sorry, guys. All right, this is not the same tone. I've got so much paint on this brush. Trying to mix it. There we go. That's getting us closer. That's a little bit more desaturated. All right, just going for it. The sand is pale, fine grain, beige yellow here. Water has tropical blue and soft emerald green colors in it. Okay, so we would have to add a little bit more to our water. But this could be kind of close. Could be kind of close. All right. Get this in there. And you said green, beige, yellow. My sand beach sunrise photos have dusky lavender colored water. Oh, that sounds amazing. Oh yeah, it's gonna happen. As long as I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. As long as that's the worst thing that comes out of my mouth, we're gonna be doing okay. Oh yeah. For those who miss it, they're like, wait, what? What did she actually say? Now the replay will be available. I saw it, Caution Artist at Play. I saw it. It cracks me up. What are you gonna do? We try to keep it as G-rated as we can for everybody's benefit, but you know, sometimes it slips out. Sometimes it just goes. You know, I'm like, gosh, this is like really, I did this color. I'm going to actually, guys, I'm drying the bottom so I can stand this back upright. So I'm going to mute you for one hot moment. One hot moment while I dry this. Sorry, puns. I think everything's very punny. You're right. You're absolutely right, Joseph. Not made for kids. But we can't talk like adults either. We don't tend to act like adults to begin with. So true. So true. Oh, excellent. You see that? Now all patrons are off searching for that gypsy heart. Yep, that's just a blow dryer. It is very fancy. It is very fancy blow dryer. Oh yeah. And that's just, it has a light in it. Because, fancy. Why it needs a light, I don't know. I did this and I thought, oh, Santa's like pale white, right? He's pasty white. He's paler than I am because he's from the North Pole. And I kind of put this right next to him and for our sand. And I don't know. We'll have to see how we're going to do his skin given that. We'll see. We'll see. I may just glaze a little bit of more color over the sand. Time is it? Okay, I'm trying. Like I said, I want to have this done today. It is my goal. A lot of paint was up in that brush, and it was just starting to dry thick. And again, for my beach sand, I want to keep going, left to right, horizontally on this canvas. There we are. Sand that's behind him. And this is normally, I don't normally do a lot of, like that illustrated feel. So this was definitely a reach out of the norm. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope you enjoy the little character. I do like doing characters. I used to do that all the time. I would sketch little characters, especially when I was younger. I wish I had some of those old sketchbooks and stuff. I'd love to have those to look back on and share with you guys. All right, so we are picturing Santa hanging out here with his toes in sand. Again, I'm just trying to go up to the surfboard so that I don't have to completely redo or block stuff in. I'm going to come around my little reindeer here. I'm not worrying if I leave a little bit of white space between the water and my sand. It's called foam. I'll come back and put some in anyway. So if I leave it there, it's going to just show up a little better. There we go. That's where Rudolph sits. I got too much paint in this brush, so I got to get some of this out of here. Give that a rinse. Start fresh. Shaking you guys up again. All right. There we go. Just kind of painting around where his antlers are going to be. There we are. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to get a little bit more. I want this to be a little darker. I want a little bit of darker color so I can add some variety. I need to mist this. Palette is just getting dry. Right now, I'm just working on creating, which would be much faster in the interest of time for me to just open my drawer beside me and grab one. Working on creating a brown for my reindeer. But the point is, I was going to use these paints, and I wanted you to be able to see that you too can mix. You can mix these colors. You can do this. All right. Let's see how this goes. I'm just going to put I'm putting my reindeer in first because he's going to be back behind the tree. So if I go over him a little bit, if I go over that tree a little bit, no big deal. And it's very animated style. So I am not worried about exact details. I want the suggestion that back there, sitting on his butt, he probably has the beer, is Rudolph back there. Or one of the reindeer, because, you can't see his face. We can't see his nose. We can't positively identify him. I have a lot of paint on my brush. All right, so we got our Rudolph back there. Whoa, I almost just threw that brush and it was loaded with paint. That would not have been good. I'm going to actually darken that up just a little bit more. And I'm using my red, I'm using my yellow. I used some of the color we had mixed up, I mixed up over here. And just with a little black, a little bit more red, a little bit more yellow. That's how I'm coming up with the color that I'm using here. Yeah, I just want to darken some of him up. Okay, so because I don't want to get to the end and be right at that time cutoff that, you know, my goal is to keep. I want to touch on what my plans are for December. I'm just taking some of what was already on my brush, grabbing a little bit of the lighter color. I'm gonna grab a little bit of this white, blend this in. I actually want to just be able to do maybe a color that I can use for like some shadows in the sand. Oh, misspelled Jared has graced us with his presence of procrastination. Oh, Jared, welcome. Are you creatively procrastinating from writing and getting book 2 in my hot little hands? Because I really would like to read that. Just saying. I mean, you know, no rush, but maybe. I'm teasing. But seriously, how's that coming along? No, I'm not going to tease you. I am not going to tease you because I know what happened to the last YouTube artist that teased you. And no, I don't like Balut. And no. I don't want to be a character who eats Balut. Here I'm just throwing a little bit of, you know, what would be shadow. His foot is, he's got his feet in the sand. His feet are in the sand. Right, maybe. And if I could get this like more like a dry, almost like a dry brush. I don't like that there. It could be shadowing from them, so I'm gonna leave it. But my darker sand would be up here where the water has washed over it. So I'm gonna put some of this up along, up closer to where the water's at. Because if you've been to the beach, you know that the wet sand is much darker than the sand that's further away, that the tide can't reach. Now, as this is going further away from me, I'm keeping that thinner. Up here by Santa, we can let it get further up. All right. Oh, and I want to definitely make sure that I carry that around. There we go. I want this to appear going right there behind his, where his shorts are. And I've got a very dry brush right now, so I'm just kind of dragging, lightly dragging across the sand just to try to give it some texture. Right? Sand has lots of shadows, dips, valleys. People walk through it. You try to come along, you fall into a little crater. You didn't realize some little kid was just digging his hole and burying his sister there. Yeah, that's always fun. And I already know that I'm going to come back again with this dry brushing technique. Right? You see how, like, when I drag that across, it just skips and it's just catching the tooth of the paper. And I'm just kind of getting here and there, I'm just kind of getting some texture on my sand. And now, because I did that, I'm going to come back to my lighter color. I'm just going to go back over it again. Oh my gosh, that is hilarious, Gypsy Heart. I am just checking up on, if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, in Lisa's live stream last night over at Lockery Fine Art. Jared, misspelled Jared, is an author and also husband to Gypsy Heart. And his first book was amazing. I loved it. So anyhow, there was some shenanigans going on over last night. For those of you who maybe I think pretty much everybody here also tunes into Lisa, but there's a chance. There's a chance that not everyone. But anyhow, if you missed it last night, if you watch the replay, also read the live chat because then you'll come across what was going on. So now what I'm doing is I just took a little bit of the light color that I'd already used, and I'm going to glaze some of this back over so that will just now push back and look like the shadow or where the sand has gotten darker. This is very light, just a little bit of water mixed in. And you see what I mean about how it is definitely transparent. I'm gonna grab a little bit more. Just keep coming through. Right? I just want variety. I just want variety in the values of my sand. Okay, what color should his surfboard be? I've got the snowflake on there, and I'm thinking, make the snowflake white. But what color should his surfboard be? You guys throw me some comments and let me know. And we will see what you guys decide. And that's the color I'll go with. That's the color surfboard he'll get. So if you are watching the live chat, now if you're watching the replay, it's already been chosen by those who are here for the live stream. But those of you in the live stream chat, start dropping the color. What color do you want to see his surfboard? All right, we're just calling that Santa's Beach for now. We're going to be good to go. Okay. Oh, Jamie, you'll have to go back and watch it. That's funny. So Tara says, dark blue. Gypsy Heart says yellows and oranges. Jamie says red and green. Okay, so I'm thinking like red and green, right? Well, Santa's shorts are going to be red. In fact, while you guys keep going, I'm going to get Santa's skin done. Then I'm going to get into his shorts. What time is it? I don't know. I'm pushing my luck. Oh, thought I was going to do the tree. I don't know if this will have to go one more week where we do Santa the next time. Possible. I don't know. Let me get this palm tree. Going. So I'm taking the color that I used for Rudolph, or I'm assuming it's Rudolph, and I'm going to put my palm tree in with that color. And then I'm going to come back with a lighter color and throw some texture on there. And hopefully this time I have that camera positioned so that I'm not sticking my head in your way when I try to paint. Oh, the first streams. They're always so much fun. Another thing is when I do trees, I never worry about like how perfectly straight my line is. Because if you have ever gone outside and looked at an actual tree, they're not perfectly straight. they've got bumps on them. I mean, yes, a palm tree does grow relatively smooth. But if a line is just slightly off, I'm not going to let it, get me all in a bother. There we go. And then we will bring our palms from that. And I'm going to do the palms, of course, before I do the surfboard, because just in case, if I need to go over that again. Oh, some of this dark color, I'm actually going to shade. I'm actually going to shade a little bit back down here. Like at the base of where Rudolph is sitting. Now I need an antler color that is going to show up nicely. So I think I'm going to take a little bit more of this color that we had mixed up for our beach. Put a hint of yellow in there. For his antlers, I'm just thinking like a yellowed out beige. Something that's going to be different from the beach sand that will stand out. We'll see. We will see. All right. So grab my number 4 round. There are no straight lines in nature, Tara says. Well, I would say for the most part, there are not. So I have a little bit of his antler that sticks out over here. And I don't know how I'm liking this because I don't think this color is going to really stand out so well. It's just really blending with that background, which is what I was afraid of. Absolutely was afraid of. So I'm going to bring a little bit of this darker brown in here. See if we can't do something with that. All right, there we go. That's what I'm using. So I just blended the color I had mixed up with just a tiny bit of the color. You guys can't see it and I can't move it on you. The brown colors that I had been working on for Rudolph. I'm going to bring a little bit of that up here. Maybe make this one a little bit darker on the other side of the tree. Hi, JR. Thanks for joining us. And I'm painting it around the side of that. Around the side of the canvas. And there he is. That's what it is. That's what it's going to be. I will touch up the spot on the tree where I painted over. I'm going to be careful because there's too much water on my brush and this wasn't quite dry, so I'm going to lift that off. All right. Rudolph's out there. We're good. Let's get some palm fronds on here. So, like I said, I like to mix. I got to get this rinsed out. Oh, actually, this has a lot of that really yellow color. I wonder. Why not? Starving said that they have down there a lot of yellow tone to their sand. This has a lot of yellow tone in it. So let's just kind of dry brush this in and help bring that Australian quality to our sand. Grab a little bit more. And we'll just warm it up. Just warm it up. There's a little space around his little antlers there. There we go. A little bit more yellow to his stand. Okay. Now to get green, of course, in the set of Amsterdam that I got, there is a green. In here we have permanent green deep. But keep looking over here because you guys are normally over here and you're up there right now. I do like to create. Oh, I already have enough black. I have more than enough black on here. I needed more yellow. I like to create, like I said, my greens from black and yellow. So I'm gonna bring yellow over here. And I'm going to take this. I'm going to take some yellow. And I'm going to take some black. Probably not that much black. And mix that up. Hey guys, it just makes a beautiful green. Move that out of my way. I just got way too much. Well, it's making more green over here. And then if I want to brighten it up a little bit, I'm going to add in a little bit more yellow. So mix up a couple of values because you know I'm going to want a few values when I do these. So I'm just adding more yellow. Lighten that up. I've got a nice dark version over here. And I'm going to create an even darker version here. There we go. So I'm going to start with my darkest value, and then I'm going to be throwing in other values on top. I'm not using this brush, so I'm going to rinse it out. I'm going to use my number 4 as I drop that right in. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. That's all right. I come prepared. Okay. Tara said, yellow board. Yeah, I'm thinking that Joseph says, shorts red, sky blue, board purple, and yellow, question mark? Yeah, I was also thinking like the orange. Orange is going to be complementary to the blue, so that may really pop off that blue sky background. So I'm kind of liking where I'm going with the, or what I'm hearing with the board having orange. And I'm thinking maybe you guys dropped some comments. What if his board is orange with purple lines, and then we have our white snowflake, and we throw in his red. Of course, his shorts are going to be red. Red and purple are complementary. So if I keep the purple to the outside, that may give a really good separation there. Yeah, now, what do you guys think? What do you think? And I'm thinking like we mix the red and the yellow to get that orange. Then let's throw in some white and, you know, bring that down a little bit. Put that on there. Then make ourselves a purple. I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking it's going to do. All right. Darkest value. First, I'm just going to kind of line in and yeah, I dropped that on the floor. So we're just going to go for it. We're just going to wing it. I'm just going to line in where I'm going to have some palm fronds. I knocked my reference image right to the floor, so I can't even see it. And I'm gonna want some that are going away from me. So if it's going away, then it's kind of bending down. Same here, that's going away. And I'm just kind of starting to get a placement of, you know, the center where the leaves will fan out from. Okay, I can never, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't share. I can never paint a palm tree. I hope you guys aren't ones that like you hear something and then it gets stuck in your head. I can never paint a palm tree without all of a sudden, you know, the song "I've Got a Lovely Bunch of Coconuts." Yeah, now it's in there. It's playing in the head right now. All right, and now I'm just gonna pick one to start with, and just if I could get my paint flowing and not feeling dry. All right, starting with the ones that are furthest back, and just gonna throw in the leaves coming off that center. Go. Sorry. See, music. Hear Beach Boys songs now. Starving says. Take you to Bermuda, Bahama. Yeah, thanks, Starving. I have songs stuck in my head. Just gonna keep coming through with my darkest values. Gypsy Heart says, "Why would you do this to me? I thought we were friends. Now I have to sing it to make it stop." So turn it on and play it. And I'm like, it won't go away. Why would I want to play it? I can't get it out of my head. Like, nope, you got to turn it on and play it. Sure enough. And so now, anytime I hear a song and it's like that, and I'm like, I just can't get rid of it, I will immediately have the A device in the household. The Echo. I can say Echo because she does not program for that word. And I'll be like, play, you know, whatever it is. Do the ones on the other side, and then come back and do the ones that cross on this side. Okay, now I'm going to pick up my other values and throw them in. That just wants to be, feels too thin. I need, the paint got a little thin, so I'm just trying to mix up a little bit more. And there we go. See how that does. Hopefully our next value is going to really where you'll really start to see it kind of pop. Now you have to watch the movie. That's funny. All right, and now I'm grabbing my lightest value, and I'm just going to throw some highlight colors in these palms. And it's not, I'm going to have to let it, I'm being impatient. I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to come back and I'm going to do that. What I will do is I'm going to add some texture with some of the lighter value I have over here on my palette. And just kind of, we've got all the shadow up there. I'm just going to kind of bring down, let me bring some texture in here. Have you seen people climb a palm tree? Oh my goodness. We had some of the, when I lived in Hawaii, we had some of the locals that would come and they would go up these palm trees because they would have to knock the coconuts out because they didn't want, it was on military housing, and they didn't want coconuts falling and, you know, taking out a child or resident somewhere. So they would go up and knock them down out of the trees. They climb up those things like they're just walk right up. It's crazy. JR asked, whoa. JR asked, are these materials from sub boxes? And the answer is yes. These are, if you saw my recent video that I did, November's Palettefull Pack box. That box had the Amsterdam paints and this canvas in it. And while I had done the winter mountain scene with the palette knife, I really wanted to try them out. I keep looking like you guys are here. You're not here. You're up here today. Hi, everybody. I really wanted to try them out. And so far, I mean, again, this could be my studio and not necessarily the paint. I would have to give them a go again, like in the spring when there's lots of moisture around. But they dry quickly. Like these dry fast. They're drying fast on my canvas. They're drying fast on my palette. But as far as, I'm gonna leave that one back there kind of dark. As far as how they lay down, they're laid down smooth. I do like them. Definitely will use them again a few times, at least. Give them a good try. All right, so now we have a variety of values in our palm leaves. I'm calling it good enough. How about a few pieces of, I don't know, Starving Artist Collective. Do you guys have grasses that grow on your beaches? Like in Massachusetts on Cape Cod, you know, we have the seagrass, beach grass. Okay, that looked a little weird. Anyhow, and I'm just trying to throw in a little bit of maybe grassy area at the bottom of this palm tree. Because, you know, why wouldn't Rudolph want to sit and chill with this little oasis going on over here? Good enough? All right. What time do we got? It's 4:55. I wanted to finish him today. Clearly that's not going to be the case. So what I will do, and that's all right, we'll just adjust. I can't let it sawgrass. Yeah. I can't let it stress me out. I can do this. We have beach grasses and dunes. Okay, so you have dunes. Like we have dunes on Cape Cod, and that's what we get. So he's got a little bit of grass there, and of course we wouldn't have palm trees on Cape Cod, but that's all right. So what I want to do is I'm going to let this be to dry, and then next week, let's see, next week I'm not on. Maybe I will finish it. That's what I'm going to do. I won't finish it live because I don't want to make you wait 2 weeks. So I'm going to finish this. I will record that. And this will be next Thursday. Next Thursday is my birthday. I will not be live that day. So I'm going to finish this and I will have it for you in a video on Thursday. So it will still be there. And you know what? Depending on what I'm doing, because I don't know yet if Lou's going to be off at work at 3 o'clock, whatever, I may set it as a premiere so I can still chat with you guys, but I will only set it as a premiere if he doesn't have some other plans for me that I don't know about. So that's what I'll do. I'll finish painting this, and if it doesn't take me as long to finish painting him, then maybe I'll throw in another bonus in that video. So yes, no live next Thursday. You could always make him for next stream, since he won't take a few 2 hours, probably add a product demo or something to fit in the rest of the time. True. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Starving. So let me just quick give you what's going on for December. I am planning on bringing you between now. I hope you saw my video yesterday with my little countdown till Christmas calendar. That was a lot of fun to make. And I loved those Tombow watercolor markers. I was like, ooh, watercolor markers. This is fantastic. I liked them. Oh, thank you, everybody. Thank you. So I was loving those in relation to like the flop I had. Well, I want to call it a flop, because in the end, I like the way that mushroom painting came out during the live stream when I got to use those, and based on all of your suggestions, it made it so much better. And how about if we switch up here so I can talk to you and you can actually see me? Okay, or maybe maybe we'll go back further away. The hair's crazy today. I had Tuka in the studio earlier today, and we were doing some filming, so you might get to see him appear in a video coming to you soon. I'm not sure exactly when yet, but he decided he needed to fly and grab and like pull at my hair, and then he was like climbing up my braids. It was chaos. So anyhow, that just totally set me off, like gone. All right. So yesterday I put out the video with the countdown, the DIY countdown to Christmas. I loved doing that one. I was talking about the alcohol markers. So I don't want to say it was a flop. You guys gave me some great suggestions that really helped me come back the next week and pull that one off. And I am happy. I'm very happy with the results. It's not a masterpiece, but I learned a ton. And so for that, no, it was not a bad thing. Oh, thank you, JR. Stephen with the birthday cake, and JR, and of course, thank you, Joseph. Okay. All right, Starving. You send me a message and we will work something out, and I will do that, and you can I will get it to you. I was gonna send it to somebody, and but you know what? You inspired this painting, so if you would like this painting, I will absolutely talk to you. You send me a message. Okay, so now December. Yesterday was the countdown. Today we've gone live. I am going to have bonus content. I will still do my Tuesdays and my Thursdays like I always do at 3 o'clock. However, you're going to find bonus content popping up during the weeks between now and the 23rd of December. All kinds of different stuff. Can I share? My topiary is like all lit up back here. And if I can get it to come off. I actually have done a couple of these. This video is coming. Do any of you have like the wood disc? One ended up being, if I could hold it right, that way. It is so hard when I'm working, like trying to look at the screen and trying to get it set for you. So this guy was one of my, I really like this one a lot. Came out really good, and I varnished it, and this is one of the videos I'm going to be bringing to you. I have another one that I did, and you can use these. You don't have to just use these as like ornaments on the tree. You can actually take, you know, a permanent fine liner, and you could personalize the back of this. You could put this on a gift that shows who the gift's to, but then it's also a gift because then they can hang it on their tree and have it as an ornament. So just an idea, but that video is coming. I have some Christmas cards that are coming. Joseph said, mailing to Australia. That'll be $1 billion. Like this. You can go like this. So yes, I had to change up how I wanted to do things because I've already mentioned to you guys, I started getting really ill, and I saw my doctor yesterday, and I got a lecture, and I have to really evaluate things. And Lou took her side, so I don't have a choice. So I don't know what's going to be in my art subscription boxes that are coming in. I'm expecting any day December Paletful Pack and December Art Snacks Plus. Upgrade doesn't come away till the end of the month, so we won't see that. But I'm hoping that I can just incorporate one of the projects I was interested in doing that I haven't already filmed into that. So you're going to see scattered throughout December. Every Tuesday, every Thursday, 3 o'clock, I will be here, just like always, those normal days. But I'm going to be throwing bonus content in there for you throughout the month. So I hope you enjoy that, and I hope you'll take the time to watch and leave me comments. And if you love the projects and you want to try them, a lot of them can be adapted. If you don't celebrate Christmas, you don't have to celebrate Christmas to do some of these projects. They can be completely adapted to suit whatever holiday you do celebrate, or if you don't celebrate a holiday, you know, just winter. So I hope that you all enjoy them. And oh, don't forget, oh, Joseph said I did that last year, the ornament name tags. That's awesome. That's awesome. So speaking of Joseph, don't forget to check out, I have links to Joseph and a link to Ashley, Gypsy Heart Crafts, because I'm not a jerk. Just kidding. I know you guys know what that's referring to, and I'm not. That was it was fun sarcasm. But anyhow, links to their channels are in the description, so please check them both out. And Joseph, I believe you are live streaming Monday. Am I correct? Yes, Monday, but then the rest of December, you'll be taking a pause on live streams. Is that correct? Drop a comment, let everybody know. And Gypsy Heart has been putting out videos, and they're starting to come regularly. So definitely give her a check out too. That would be great. Trying to think what else to tell you. I'm going to go back after this is done, and I'm going to put a link to some other holiday winter videos that you might like to see here. So please do check those. If you're having fun, if you're liking these, smash that thumbs up button. It lets YouTube know, it lets me know that this is content that you want to see, and I appreciate it. So I hope you're having a great start to your holiday season. Stay safe, stay healthy, keep creating, and I'm going to see all of you in the next one. Bye. I say bye. I can't even find where to end my stream. It's way over there now. Bye, guys.